Bruchim haboim. Welcome everyone. We're about to begin Be'ezras Hashem together on Daf Nun Zayin Amud Beis, 5 lines from the top. The Gemara is asking various questions when there's a mixture of domim, and now the Gemara asks a fourth question. Mixas domim nisarvu loy, u mixas domim lo nisarvu loy. Here the Gemara is talking about a scenario when you took from the two koisos of domim, one was par and one is soyer, and you begin pouring into a third kois. However, you still have dam left over in the original koisos. So the Gemara says, what is the din? What do you do? Explains the Gemara's question. Pishita ki yahiv mivadoin yahiv. Certainly it's pashut that you should make the applications with the original koisos of the par, dam par and dam soyer, not with the third kois that you poured into. That's pashut. That's not the question. So what is the question? Miu hanoch shirayim havu v'liyisoid azli or dilma dichuyin havu va'azli la'amo. How do we view this dam that's in the third kois? Do we view it as shirayim, or do we use it as dichui? If it's shirayim, then it gets poured on the yisoid hamizbeach, because it's a leftover of the valid usage of the dam. If, however, it's considered to be dichui, it's rejected, then it's put into the canal, the amma, to then get rid of all of the waste that is in the Beis HaMikdash. And this was rejected. So that's the question. What do we do with this third kois that has dam from both the par and the soyer? Amar Pape, afilu manda amar kois echod. In the event that you have a Kabbalah of 2 koisos of dam, and you end up not using one kois, you end up using only one of the 2 koisos, how do we view the second kois? It's a machlokes. But according to the opinion that says that second kois is nikra shirayim, then hani mili heicha di boy lemeisav matzi yahiv. When is that true? Says Rav Papa, that it's considered to be shirayim. That's when a person can use that dam. That dam was considered to be a good dam, no less good than the dam in the other kois. So then that additional kois is considered to be shirayim, and therefore is poured on the yisod hamizbeach. Aval hai, but in this scenario of ours, the iboy lemeisav lo matzi yahiv loy. But over here, this dam is not preferable, because this dam is really a mixture of the par and the soyer. So therefore, it's not as good to use such dam, whereby we won't consider it to be shirayim. Omar leRav Huna b'Rei Rav Yeshua leRav Papa. Adarabba, he says, on the contrary, afilu lemanda omar kois echad oisecha ve'rudichui, even according to the other opinion, that says when you have, again, 2 koisos that were used for Kabbalas Hadam, and only one is ultimately used, and the second one is not used. And this opinion says that it's considered to be dichui, and therefore it goes to the amma with the rest of the waste outside the Beis HaMikdash. He says, Hani mili, when is this true that's considered to be rejected? The dechia biyadayim. When it's a dechia biyadayim, he actively was doiche this. Then it's considered to be rejected, and therefore goes to the amas hamayim. Aval heicha de lo dochia biyadayim loy. But over in this case, when it's not dochia biyadayim, it was more of a passive type of a dechia. In other words, it's not like he didn't. It's not like over there where he actually used one specifically and then left the other one over, and therefore rejected the other one that was certainly valid to use. Here it wasn't like that. So therefore, since not dochia biyadayim, it's a passive dechia. So therefore, maybe not. Maybe it would not go therefore to the canal, and it could be poured on the yisod hamizbeach. The Tanya. Now the Gemara brings a brisa that really records these 2 opinions. In the scenario that we said before, when you have a situation when you have 2 koisos, we said one opinion says it's shirayim, the other opinion says it's considered to be dachui. The Tanya, lamalo hu oimer, the pasuk above states, ve'es damo yishpoich, and its dam he shall spill. Ulamate hu oimer, and below the pasuk says slightly different. Ves kol dama yishbach, and all of the dam he shall spill. Now, the first pasuk that we said, "Ves dama yishbach," is mashma, this specific dam he shall be shoifech. Whereas the latter pasuk says, "Ves kol dama yishbach," mashma, not just this, but all of the dam should be used to be shoifech. So the Brisa says, "Minayin lechato shekibel dama be'arba koisois v'nosan mizeh achas umizeh achas shekula nishbachin liyasoid." From where do we know that the korban chatos, when you're mekabel the dam in 4 different koisos, and you then took from each kois from each kois the dam, that all of them, whatever is left over, then should be nishbachin liyasoid. That's considered to be shirayim. Tamulam ves kol dama yishpoich. There it says, the latter pasuk is kol dama yishpoich. All of the dam shall be then nishbach. Yocham, I think, afilu nasan arba matonis me'achdemem. If you only used one of the 4 koisos for the applications, I might think also the same thing is true. Tamulam ves dama yishpoich. On that we bring the other verse. Only its dam should be nishbach. Hu nishbach liyasoid vehei nishbachin la'ama. Only that dam that was used, whatever's left over, is considered to be shirayim. The other, however, is then sent on the amma to be then disregarded. Rabbi Elazar, Rabbi Shimon Omer, he's choylek in the Tanakh, and he says, "Minayin lechata shekibel dama ba'arba koises v'nosan arba matonos me'echad mehem shekul nishbachin liyasoid." He says, where do we find that when you did mekabel dam in all 4 koisos, and indeed you only use the application from one of the 4 koisos, that all 4 koisos, whatever is left in that 4 koisos, all of those 4 koisos will be then spilled on the Yisoid HaMizbeach. In other words, has it didn't like Shirayim. Talmud Maves Kol Dama Yishbach. He brings that posuk, all of the dam will be Nishbach. Ask the Gemara, Rabbi Elazar, Rabbi Shimon, Hoksi Ves Dama Yishbach. What does he do with the posuk Ves Dama Yishbach? On that he explains, Omar Ravashi lemeute shiurayim shebetzavar behema. Ravashi explains this comes to exclude whatever is left over of the lifeblood in the animal's neck. Let's say he took the makabel the dam, but he didn't take all of it. He left over the lifeblood still in the neck of the animal. That leftover lifeblood, that's what the pasuk is talking about when it says in the singular. And therefore only that which you took should be nishbach on the Yesod HaMizbeach. But the remainder has to then go to the Amas HaMayim.